The music playing. Hey, you guys.
Hi, everyone. How you doing?
I'm Tanya.
I'm Ebony.
And I'm Pearl. And
we are Juicebox. We're coming to you once again with one of our live video talk shows. We are so glad that you're able. I know. We're so glad to have you guys with us. Make sure you do subscribe to Juicebox Convo. Okay? So let's go ahead and get right into our topic. We got so many topics to talk about. We have some on the table, so make sure you do subscribe and make sure you tune in. So today we're going to be talking about something that has become an epidemic. We want you guys to do your research as we've been doing our research, but hopefully we can kind of shed some light on what's going on. And this is talking about the coronavirus. You guys, it's something that, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of scary. You know, it's very scary. I just feel like, you know, it's too much involved with it. It's too much going on. And nobody really knows how to treat it, how to, you know, they're still figuring this thing out, you guys. It's not like the flu. You can't wait for the symptoms to go away. You really have to tackle this, you know. So let's get right into it because we want to kind of go over some things with you and go over some facts if we can. So of what they finally found and some of the research that they found when it came down to the coronavirus. So looking through my information. So the coronavirus, which it can be a deadly virus and it is just outbreaking everywhere. So the coronavirus, which is also known as the China pneumonia, broke out in December 2019. So that was pretty much the very first case that they were able to discover. So the coronavirus is said and thought to have been passed from animals to humans. That kind of disturbed me. I'm like, what's going on with that? Like, how is this? What are people doing? You know? And so, a professor from the University of Reading, which is in England, said that the coronavirus harbored in horseshoe bats. So, horseshoe bat. I've never even heard of a horseshoe bat. I just know of bats. I didn't know there was a certain kind. But it harbored from horseshoe bats. They're basically saying that, you know, they're trying to figure out what the clear steps are. They're saying there's really no clear steps as the virus went from a bat into some type of immediate source. And then from that immediate source, it finally went into man. So then it brought to my attention, I don't know if you guys saw the video of the girl that was eating the bat soup. So the bat soup, which is a big bowl, looked like pho. But it had a big bat that was hanging off the side of it, you guys. It was hanging off the side of the bowl, and I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, so what is she going to do with the bat? And she literally opens it up, and she starts eating it. So she's eating the head. She's eating every part of the bat that has some type of nutrients in it. She's breaking off the wings, and I'm just looking at this like, this can't be real.
And maybe it wasn't real.
But
that could have been a manufactured video. We don't
it
know.
could have been, but I'm just like, no. It was crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So, but getting right into it, like I said before, that they found out the very first case was in China in December 2019. The coronavirus pretty much is now spread across multiple world regions, and it has basically derived from Wuhan, China, which it was an Asian that was actually eating the bat soup and the coronavirus. Now, I've eaten so many things, but I guess we need to do more of our research. I never would have thought to eat a bat. It's more like I've eaten alligator legs. I've eaten frog legs. I've even had deer, you know, and I don't like deer that much because it's so gamey, but what makes a person just sit down and eat a bat, though? You know, bats carry diseases that I know of. So it's like, and they're just, it's just something that I wouldn't think to eat. So, but that's what they're saying that this thing has derived of. So it's like, what would make you eat that? Like, where would somebody get something like that?
So I'm not world travel. So what I'll say is I'm not world travel in different parts of the world. Other folks have different delicacies, right? So in the United States, we've been conditioned to eat a particular way in general.
That's
you
true.
know, like, you know, what seems to be socially acceptable in the context of the United States is like eating hamburger meat, eating pork chops, or, you know, eating chicken or or those that are hunters eating like some form of wild game. So again, because I'm not world travel, I'm not sure what is typical general food choices in other parts of the world and what is standard delicacy. How do you say that, y'all? Delicacy, yeah. But my other point, too, that I quickly want to make, and you can get us back on gear, is like, honestly, in my opinion, we don't know what we're eating, even if it is hamburger. It's like, true. Everything is being manufactured so quickly. We don't know what parts of the world it's coming from. So every time we take a bite of something to eat that we didn't personally grow ourselves, in my opinion, is some level of risk.
That's true.
And the things that we are told that is acceptable to eat, are they really acceptable? So I had a conversation the other day with someone that was talking about cheese. Like, cheese is derived from spoiled milk. Like, we don't eat spoiled.
We ain't gonna drink it.
We don't eat spoiled. We don't eat other things spoiled.
We don't.
But what gives us the concept to think this is socially acceptable? I don't know. So, really, do we know what we're putting in our bodies again, unless we're making it ourselves?
Yeah, that is definitely true.
I don't know. Just saying.
True.
The answer, yes and no. Like Ebony had mentioned, doing your research before you are putting things into your body. And typically the reason why over in the United States, I would say that most people are either meat eaters or not. But those that are meat eaters, we choose to eat what we eat based off of what has been shown to us.
Right.
Through, our parents, what they've done before us, what we see before us, what's advertised before us, which says that it is safe. Again, we're not over in other countries, so again, we don't know, that could be a delicacy for them.
Yeah. Right.
And not only, in bats, but, Wuhan, is that how you say it? The country, Wuhan, is a place in Wuhan where they have lobster is where they keep that. So not only is bats, we're talking about an industry that has lobster that we all over here eat in the U.S. So when it comes to eating any animal, whether it's a bat, whether it's a antelope, whether it's a armadillo, whether it's a horse, whether it's a dog, whether it's cows that we're familiar with, whether it's chicken, the point of it is doing our research.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely doing our research. And I guess that's why we have so many vegetarians and vegans. Vegans, they don't eat a lot of, things. Everything is plant-based, I believe. So they don't eat eggs, don't eat dairy. They don't eat, you know what I'm saying? So, and I love cheese. I love cheese on almost everything. So, but like you said, it's spoiled milk. What are we actually putting in our bodies? So, and like y'all both stated, it's probably a delicacy to eat bats over there. Me, I would never think, oh, there's a bat, let's kill it and eat it. I mean, to me, a bat is like a mouse with, it's like a rat with wings.
Well, the delicacy has caused some problems.
It's causing major problems.
So, yes. So, the reality is of what we know, the coronavirus supposedly was transmitted from an animal to a human individual. Exactly. And that's based on the information we've been delivered from the CDC and other sources. That's what they're saying is the source.
Exactly. They're saying that's the source, but they're specifically saying, some are saying just animal to human, but some are specifically saying it derived from a bat.
It derived from a bat. That's the thing. It did derive from a bat. Transported through,
humans eating the bats.
Did we know that to be?
Not only from the humans eating the bats, but the bats transferred it to another animal, which transported to humans.
And
But how does it spread now? How does the virus spread? So now it has transpired supposedly from animals to humans, and now the contact to potentially contract this virus is human to human.
Oh, now it's
through coughing, through sneezing,
which is typically benign, though.
Oh, so it now I see my mind is going.
It's typically benign,
right?
Yeah.
And so that's it's more. I mean,
It's a lot. Yeah, you have questions, right? I'm I mean, we all have questions when it comes to this specific virus. That makes me think. Somebody texted me the other day. Was like, yeah, you know, they have New York strips on sale. I was like, I don't know. Why are they so cheap? I don't know if I want to go get them now. Like you said, it's from animal to animal, and then from animal to human. Now it's from human to human that the coronavirus is being spread. This is scary, y'all. I don't know what to... it's scary.
Is there a time when things aren't scary though? We've gone through so many, like we heard about the SARS epidemic, disease, and like MERS, or like
right.
I feel like there's some type of outbreak every year. It seems like
it does.
This particular one, and I don't know.
And I'm not saying we shouldn't take this without serious intent. I'm just saying, like.
And I think why it's so serious is because the coronavirus is said to be deadly. So nobody that has caught the coronavirus in the cases that have been talked about has survived this virus.
Depending on the age. The age has a lot to do with it. Whether people are smokers have a lot to do with it. Whether people have previous medical conditions. One of the ones that would be like high blood pressure and things like that. So maybe those that had been infected had something like that occur, because like I said, human to human, it is typically benign. So it's treated like the flu.
Right. Well, the symptoms resemble the flu.
It gives its name from where it derived from.
So here, they're saying reported illnesses have ranged from mild to severe to death for confirmed coronavirus disease or the COVID-19 cases. Symptoms may appear 2 to 14 days after exposure, and most of the symptoms considered are fever, cough, and shortness of breath. So those are like the first ones. And people may think it may be just the flu, or they may have just a cough. So now that the coronavirus has reached the U.S., it's not exactly. So it's not something to be taken lightly. So if you have those symptoms, go to the doctor and make sure you're getting checked out, because you never know. Like I said, it's becoming worldwide. It's widespread now. Anybody can catch it. So it's like you have to make sure to not just say, I'm not going to the doctor. I know there's a lot of people that don't like going to the doctor. Me, when my kid would cough, I would, we're going to get your coat, get your shoes on, we're going to the doctor. I was going straight, because there's so many things, and I used to hear so many cases in general. This is kind of a sidebar, but I used to just hear so many cases in general. Well, so-and-so, or a person will be, she just went in for a cough, she came out, next thing you know, she collapsed, and then now she's in ICU. So it's like some of these, people are getting sick, and it's becoming very deadly. So now that we actually know that there's a deadly virus out there, do not sit and wait for somebody to say, hey, go to the doctor. Take yourself to the doctor. Make sure you're getting it checked out.
Supposedly, according to the CDC, again, it's not a matter of if this virus will continue to spread, it's a matter of when. So, to me, that's an indication of we should be on alert, or at least taking some precautions. And some of the precautions may be
alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Let me have some. We have some sanitizer, you guys. Keep it in your office. There's the small little one that you can keep on the side of your purse. I have one on the side of my purse, and I have a backup one inside my purse. Keep it in your home, around your home. Tell your kids when they're at school, stop touching other kids, okay? Because kids like that, how you doing? And baby, it's like so nasty. So make sure you're telling your kids, stop touching other kids. Make sure you put on your gloves, and they can give them a hug, touch their clothes, but do not touch their skin. No skin contact, as much less as possible.
We talking about the impossible around here.
What else we got?
Oh, what we have. You want to make sure that you are, having alcohol-based thing. I have this alcohol. Why is that? Because
it's a very big bottle.
This is just me and personally what I would do. After, giving yourself a bath and things like that, you may not have no hand sanitizer and things like that, but alcohol definitely decrease the spread, of course, in the coronavirus or this virus again.
It kills 99% of germs. So definitely alcohol, and keeping alcohol. And I do use alcohol in my bath water along with Epsom salt. So
what I will say is these masks are not
give me one. I want one.
Are not the preventative. These are not the preventative masks that you want.
Yeah.
However,
you just pick up from the doctor's office.
You can, but these are not the ones you want. Why? Because there is room for this virus to be still transported. You will see
patients. Put a scarf right here.
You will see patients, wearing this to keep the spread away, but you will see providers wearing what they call the N95 mask because it closes off the whole surrounding. This is not a good mask, but it's workable.
It works.
The next little thing crosses. Look at this. This Lysol disinfectant spray is really good to keep around the house. Why is it good to keep around the house? Because yes, we believe that this virus has come out in 2019 of December, but if you read the label on here, not the label, I'm sorry, part of what it protects against, you will see that this label already has human coronavirus. Go get a Lysol can.
Yes, please.
Let me see, Tanya.
Yes. So Lysol cans that will already have the human coronavirus is the yellow ones, the blue one, and the purple one. Now that this is one that's orange, it doesn't have the human coronavirus on it.
Yes.
So if it just came out and that already had it on there,
it didn't just come out.
That's the point. Things that make you go.
By the way, I just brought this old can because you're saying, well, you might have went and picked it up at the store and they hurried up and put these labels on there. I'm just going to show for my ladies that this can expired in 2018. Confirm that for me, ladies.
Yeah. But 2018.
So that means the manufacturers prior had to make this in order for it to have an expiration in 2018.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're telling us a virus that came out
in
2019.
In 2019. So, but again, there's already viruses or variation of viruses that have already existed. So it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Which derived again from bats to certain particular animals. In this 2019 coronavirus, the bat has transported this virus into the animal, which is called a pendulum. Which is sort of similar to an anteater or an armadillo. And the reason why the name of the COVID-19 came about is because 96, the pendulum has a 96% match of the genetic of the COVID.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So
so just to reiterate, you guys, make sure you get those things. Also, other things that you need to take into consideration. I said this before when it comes to kids. Also, when it comes to adults, avoid close contact with people who are sick. So if you hear them coughing, they're red in the face. I mean, even if they appear to be sick, just make sure you keep your distance. It's never. It's never really, a bad thing. And then, it's so crazy because I just told my daughters they're going on a vacation soon. And I told them, I said, you make sure you get some of these masks. I'm going to have one for my daughter. And she said, it'll look funny. She said, but I guess I better do it. I said, yeah. I said, because it's traveling and the airport is probably the number one place where it can be actually contracted because there's so many people coming through the airport internationally and throughout the United States, they're coming nationwide. Mm-hmm. So, they're coming from everywhere. So you got to really make sure when going through the airport, when you're traveling. Also, avoid the touching, the eyes, the mouth. Stay home when you're sick.
The T.
Let me tell you something. Even on the job, the T. Even when you're on the job, if I'm really, really sick, I'll just tell my boss, you know what, I think I'm going to work from home today. I'll grab my laptop because I don't want to have to make anybody sick. I was coughing. I had a cough for like 3 weeks, y'all. About 2 months ago.
That was 2 months ago.
No, that's 2 months ago.
But we don't know when this virus really started.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm good. I'm good now. I'm good. But it lasted for 3 weeks. And it was so crazy is because my daughter was sick before me. She had it for like a week. It was gone. But me, I had it for like 3 weeks. I said my immune system must be really getting weaker because I usually have a strong immune system. So I've been taking my calcium. So do things that prevent you from getting sick. Take vitamins. Take your calcium. Take things of that nature. But I know jobs are important, but at the end of the day, it's not worth going to work sick, and it's not worth going to work and finding somebody is sick, and then you're getting contact and getting sick as well. So stay home. Cover your mouth, your nose. Use your tissue. When you use your tissue, throw it away. Cover your mouth, your nose. Wear scarves. It's wintertime. That's always a good thing. Wear your scarf.
We're in Minnesota.
We are in Minnesota, so we wear a scarf. I'm in the house and I'm wearing a scarf. Y'all see this? So, clean, disinfectant, you have your things right there. So, and we actually, and then, you know what, continuously wash your hands, regardless of what you do. Let me tell you something. I sit at my desk all day. Somebody's like, can I borrow your pen? Can I do this? I'm like, yeah, but I don't let them borrow the pen I'm using. I let them borrow a whole nother pen, but at the end of the day, I'm wiping it down with Lysol wipes or regular Lysol. I have hand sanitizer sitting on my desk, but it's like you're touching your computer, you're touching your mouse, you're touching things, and people don't think nothing of it. Oh, let me just use her pen real quick, and they'll write, and then it's like you never know. It's so many germs everywhere, and you can't really prevent everything, but you can take as much precaution as possible. You know what I'm saying, that you can. So make sure you're constantly watching your hair. Even when you are running around, you're talking to people, you're touching things, go wash your hands really quick. Or, you know, I would say wash your hands. If you can't get to the bathroom, definitely have some hand sanitizer sitting next to you. You want to do whatever you need to do to make sure that you're preventing all costs. So, you know, I went to Facebook and I said, you know, let me just post this up on Facebook really quick and see what people know about this. So there are people that have chimed in. I'm just going to read a couple of comments or what have you. So one woman said, Nicole P said, you know, she said, wash your hands every day. Same thing I said, she said she keeps hand sanitizer in a car, bag, coat pocket. Limit the things you touch. Wash your hands. Eat alkaline foods. That is so big. Eat alkaline foods. Let me tell you something. I did my research on alkaline too, and I'm still doing my research. Now, I would love an alkaline
diet.
You got it? They are expensive.
There's an alkaline diet.
Oh yeah, there's one alkaline diet. Alkaline diet. But I actually, my brother was telling me that he was going to get a alkaline water dispenser in his home. They are expensive, but you know what? In this day and age, it's worth it. I think they're a few $1,000s. It's worth it though. It's worth it. And she said, you know, stay away from people who are sick. Same thing. Stay home. Sick people stay home. She's like telling people sick people stay home. And then my other friend Gina D said, you know, for general population, if you catch it, you should survive it, just like the rest of the outbreaks. I don't know what she's saying. If you've been taking care of yourself, your immune system should be resilient. Continue to take care of yourself. It's one of them things where you don't have to be sick to take care of yourself. Even if you're not sick, take care of yourself. Don't wait until you get sick or you know what I'm saying, something's not feeling right or your stomach is feeling funny. You just want to make sure that you are taking every precaution possible. So I did ask the question about travel plans, and they said they're not canceling their travel plans. I know I have a trip plan. So what do y'all think about that? Do you have trips planned? Are you canceling your plans?
I don't have any trips planned, and if I did, I would not cancel them just because I know where it derives from. I know pretty much how serious and non-serious it really is. What's the big blow up, you know, things like that. You know, I guess when you get educated on what this is, how it spreads, you can pretty much be your first preventative to the problem.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. I'm still planning to take a trip, and I'm just going to exercise additional precautions. One thing I will say, friends, as we begin to wrap this segment up, is something that is interesting in my opinion, and it may be like a cultural or regional thing. Individuals in China, they wear masks all the time. It's no thing. It's no problem.
They do.
But here in the States, we don't do that. What would be the problem with us wearing masks? Because sickness it's happening 24/7, not just when this virus outbreaks. Oftentimes when kids go back to school, you'll see a rise in sickness or, you know, spreading through the job. I mean, so it's just like, why not take these precautions just in general and day to day?
Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
You know, there was one thing that I did not, because I didn't know we was going to go to the precaution, because I don't have this as a prop. I am the prop. So, one of the precautions that I know that I have taken is I've made a conscious decision not to eat meat. One reason why is research. That's the main reason. And just really thinking about what I am putting in my body being the first choice to the things that are happening.
That's true.
That's waiting in line.
Oh,
an animal waiting in line to be butchered. Lobster, doesn't matter what it is. Dog, doesn't matter. Even the bat that's being ate before cats, before it is about to simmer, cook, or whatever, it, trust me, believe it or not, trembles.
Yes.
You know, it has a fear. It has, you know, a lot of things and hormones that goes on in it, you know. And when we are sitting not consciously thinking about what exactly are we putting in our body, then we are going to put ourselves at a higher risk of having these viruses transported. And then, you know, we depend on someone, somewhere, CDC, president, somewhere to tell us, where did this come from?
Right.
How did it all do? But are we consciously really thinking about what we are requiring these other countries to give us? We understand that these things are happening in China, but yet the consumers won't meet. And we are yet ordering from over in places where we want this.
That's definitely something to think about.
We want it bad enough.
That is definitely something.
That is a precaution that I have taken.
And just right before we close out and wrap up, I want to read this because another precaution is that you take every precaution. Reason being is because right now, just reading under prevention, they're basically saying there's no vaccine to prevent coronavirus disease 2019.
Oh, no.
So the best way to prevent the illness is to avoid being exposed to the virus. So all these things that we mentioned is the only way to be exposed, not be exposed from it. So you got to take every precaution there is. So we just got to make sure that we're doing everything we can possible to keep our surface clean, to keep our environment clean, to keep our surroundings clean. Keep your hands clean, your noses clean, keep your homes clean, keep your office spaces clean. Everything around you, just make sure they're clean. We definitely want to be able to, knowing how it got here, knowing how it arrived, we want to be able to make sure that it doesn't spread anymore. Just take every precaution there is in the book.
Don't be fooled by those shots either, guys.
Yes, don't be fooled by that at all.
And I would say, I'm not sure we're sharing what the only way is, but here's some recommended ways that are recommended by the CDC. Decisions that Tanya is making personally, you know, so they're just ideas we're talking about to say there are things potentially that you can do to more minimize potentially exposure and contact. But the main thing is, our hands touch so many things. Don't put your hands in your eyes, your nose, and your mouth without thorough washing. Not just a rinse on the water. You need to wash consistently for at least 20 to 30 seconds, if not more.
We can't stress it enough. So.
All right. So now I want to bring you some history facts as we close this segment out. All right. So the question is, which slave literally wrote his way to freedom? So, over the course of slavery in the United States between 1513 and 1865, tens of thousands of people managed to escape. First, before 1763, they went from the Carolinas and Georgia to the haven afforded by Spanish Florida. Later, they headed north from the southern colonies and the states across the Mason-Dixon line. The oldest story of a slave escape is that of Ayuba, and I may be pronouncing this incorrectly, but it's spelled Ayuba, who wrote his way out of slavery. He was renamed Simon by his slave master. Ayuba managed to run away only to be recaptured and imprisoned. He was visited by a lawyer named Thomas, who was fascinated by his insistence on praying, by his refusal to eat pork and consume alcohol, and most of all by the phenomenon of an African man writing on the wall of his prison cell in some, what they called back then, unknown language. And then one day, Ayuba, again also known as Simon, sat down and wrote a letter in Arabic.
Wow.
Imploring his father back in Senegal to come to America and rescue him from slavery.
Nice. That's
all right.
Nice tidbit.
So thank you so much for watching this episode. Please again subscribe to our channel. We would love your support. We also would love to hear other topics you want to talk about. These are literally dining room conversations that we're enjoying, and we want to invite you into the conversations with us.
Thank you.
All right, Juicebox. Remember, Juicebox. Subscribe, share, talk about it, comment on it, all the things, please. All right.
Love you guys.
Love ya.